What's up, you guys? And I hope every single one of you are having a tremendous new year despite what is going on out in the world. You have to focus on you and creating that New Year's resolution, whether it's to just become a better individual, become more physically fit, so on and so forth. It's very important that you stick to your goals and what works for you. Now, some of you might be looking and saying, God, he's wearing a sweatshirt. Yeah, STI. Yeah, and I don't own an STI, but support anyways. It was free. Anyways, so you might be saying, why is he wearing a sweatshirt? It's actually relatively cold here in Florida. And you know, anytime that somebody says that they're cold in Florida, that means that it's pretty much anywhere below like 60 degrees outside. Pretty much it. So what would be like shorts weather for, say, somebody up in the Northeast or somewhere else in the world, Canada, wherever. Anyways, so for one, I got myself a birthday gift. My birthday was last weekend, so happy birthday to me. And I got myself a new pair of running shoes, and I seem to be getting quite a bit of running shoes, and I got these right here. So excited. Yes, those are the Saucony Endorphin Speeds. Such an amazing shoe. And the reason why I got those, by the way, and I will do a initial review, all that kind of stuff later on. But the reason I got those shoes was because I signed up for an event in April, I think. I'm doing it with a friend, but it's going to be a virtual run, unfortunately. But it's going to be one of those Run Disney virtual runs in April. And because of that, I am working on some training. Now, what I'm doing in April, as I switch hands here, what I'm doing in April is a 10K run. And 10K might not seem like a lot to a lot of you runners out there. And usually a 10K is nothing for me, but I did have a setback last month, middle of last month, where usually I go once a week. I would do a 10K or a little bit more. Maybe I'd do 7, 8, 9, 10 miles in a run and not even bat an eye. It would just, you know, I could just do it straight through. Well, I did a 10-mile run last month, hurt myself, I don't know, strained my hip, whatever the case was, but I was hurting really badly. And so I kind of had to pull back a little bit. And since then, I've been having some issues with my formation, with my muscle groups, with everything. It was almost like everything just became like super tense. And, you know, now everything's got to get worked back up to where it was. And that's kind of where I am kind of taking this video, as much as it would be about like those Endorphin Speeds, which are supposedly absolute amazing shoes. But where I'm kind of taking this video is about relaxing, about recovery, about not being afraid to have those setbacks, that those setbacks aren't setbacks, they're step backs, which means you just kind of have to step back from what you were doing, kind of regroup and reprioritize your training regimen, maybe take a couple extra days of recovery, focus on maybe some diet, maybe some strength training, and not focus so much on the running itself, to kind of focus on other things. And then also kind of getting yourself mentally back in the game, because that's also another important side of this particular video, is being able to get yourself mentally back in the game. So today was pretty successful. I did do a 10K run. There was like 2 breaks, I think, in that 10K run. So 6.26 miles, averaged 8:42 a pace, or 8:42 per mile, which isn't bad. It's not great, but I'm getting my strength, I'm getting my stamina back up. And part of that has to do with some of the training that I've been doing throughout the week. I've been focusing on some speed training, some strength training throughout the week. And I think it's starting to make me a better runner. I've also focused on my cardio system, or my cardiovascular system, a little bit more, focused on my breathing, make sure that when I'm breathing, it's nice, deep breaths, nice deep breaths, and just kind of focusing on, like, opening up my lungs, my stomach, my chest, my shoulders, making sure my shoulders are nice back, where they need to be. Um, so really that's kind of where I kind of had to restructure myself mentally, was because I was so focused on, why are my legs doing this? Why are my legs doing this? And realistically, I realized I was exerting myself like exponentially. And I realized I needed to kind of take a step back. And again, we talked about step backs. I had to focus on myself mentally to say, you need to focus on your breathing. It's not so much about your legs, it's about your breathing. If you're not getting enough oxygen into your system and you're exerting way too much, that means there's not enough oxygen that's getting to your muscle groups. And if there's not enough oxygen getting to your muscle groups, they're going to fatigue just as fast. So don't focus on speed. Don't focus on the amount of energy that you're putting into the pace that you're going. Kind of find yourself that comfortable rhythm, but focus on your breathing. Because eventually what I'd like to do at some point this year is to do a half marathon. And at the pace that I'm currently running, it's, I'm looking at 2 hours, maybe more, to do a half marathon. I'd like to be under. So that being said, it's going to be an effort to put in. And that's why I'm kind of sharing these videos with you, is finding the right shoe, the right rhythm, the right strength training, the best training regimen, and realizing mentally that even though I'm looking at a half marathon at 13.1 miles, right? So it's 13.1 miles. I don't need to train every single day for 13.1 miles, okay? I can step back and look at a 20-minute workout, speed workout, where it works speed and strength. I can look at a 20-minute or 30-minute or 40-minute workout and realize intervals, okay? Like intervals, for instance, okay? So I could do 20 to 30 minutes of intervals and still see results at the end of the week, as far as my stamina, as far as my ability to run further, as far as my lung capacity, so on and so forth. So it's not a matter of going and saying, okay, well, I've got to go the furthest distance I possibly can today. It's not about that. It's about training yourself in your short game to have a better long run game. So learning from other YouTubers, learning from books, from various assets, that you can train yourself to go further. You can train yourself to run longer by doing shorter runs. So kind of keep that in mind. And that's where mentally you've got to have the mental strength to tell yourself it's okay to slow down. It's okay to run shorter. It's okay to take that break in that run. Today, taking 2 breaks on a 10K, not what I wanted to be, but then I realized last weekend, there's no way I could even do a 10K. A month and a half ago, I could easily do a 10K. I had that setback, and now it's kind of hitting that reset button. But a week ago, I couldn't do that. Today, yeah, I took 2 breaks, but I felt good afterwards. I felt comfortable afterwards. So kind of having that mental push to get you further is vitally important. So as you kind of ride along with me, guys, I appreciate everything that you guys do. If you guys are getting out there, kind of being like me, a bigger guy. Now, again, I weigh about 215 pounds, about 98 kilograms. So I'm a bigger guy. So getting out there and being able to run and be able to do a half marathon 10K, whatever, at whatever pace that I can run at is an accomplishment. And that's how I'm trying to look at it every single day. Even if I have to take 2 breaks on a 10K run, you know, while I'm training here at home, is still an accomplishment. Every single day that I get up and I put a pair of shoes on and I go out for a run is an accomplishment. So mentally, get yourself there. You guys are going right along with me. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing by subscribing, staying tuned, so on and so forth. We'll have a couple more shoe reviews coming up, but for right now, kind of doing this content because I think this is beneficial for every single one of you that's starting the new year off, trying to get yourself in better shape and looking at running and saying, I'm going to do this. Trust me, it takes time. It takes effort. You can't give up. You have to keep going. You have to mentally push yourself and say that you'll do better. And that's what is important. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Click that like button, click subscribe. And as always, guys, enjoy the run.